My name is Jeff Young, and I'm CEO of Dynamic Marching, and this is Dynamic Marching and Movement. By studying this system, band directors will gain confidence and manage time better by using a proven system of teaching marching and movement fundamentals. Over the years at Dynamic Marching, we've heard time and again that teaching marching and movement fundamentals is a struggle of many band directors across the country. We hope that with this video and these brand new ideas that you're able to not skip steps in your teaching methods. What I mean by not skipping steps is that it's really important when you're teaching to make sure you go through a system of 1, then 2, then 3. You'd never try to teach calculus before you taught algebra. And yet some people, when they're teaching, have a hard time sequencing those ideas and those teaching strategies into something that works for all of their students. We hope to give you a system that works with all of your students, and it's a proven system that uses A, then B, then C. Although it doesn't take very long to watch this series of videos, you can get through it in less than an hour. What does take time is really studying and becoming comfortable with the terminology and the sequence of teaching events. Once you become comfortable with the teaching progression and the vocabulary, what's important is to revisit those concepts with your students on a regular basis. You can't expect that if you've taught it once, the students will understand it for the rest of the season. The main topics in this video are posture, 1 step forward, 1 step backward, direction changes, and body movement. These concepts we teach every single day in Visual Fundamentals. Now, you might not have half an hour every day, but you can always squeeze out 5 or 10 minutes of Visual Fundamentals. Some days you're going to really want to take time to go back to the details of these exercises. We're constantly balancing detail versus repetition. These videos are all about the detail. It's up to you to know when's the right time to teach repetition. Our students play their instruments all year round, or at least 8 or 9 months of the year. What they don't do is march all the time. So these concepts have to be taught over and over again, and the students need repetition in order to achieve them. Who will benefit from this video series? All band directors who teach marching band, and all students who are in marching band. The concepts in this video are the foundation of everything else in marching band. Dynamic Marching has produced 10 videos over the last 10 years. And these videos are used by band directors and students. Although I would caution you, this is not the time to give a video to your students and say, hey, learn this. It's also not a good idea to write down these exercises and hand them to a drum major and say, here, go teach these. It's really important that the person teaching the students understands the why behind what we're doing. Why do we need to have good posture? Why is it important to use teaching progressions? Why do we do detail versus repetition? All of those things are critical to being great teachers, and through great teaching, we will have great execution. A couple of teaching tips before we dive into the content. Number 1, have great pacing. Make sure you keep things fun and keep things moving. Call students by name and constantly keep your rehearsals fun and well-paced. Number 2, teach with passion. Your students need to understand that your passion for teaching the visual side of marching band is just as high as your passion for teaching music. Number 3, have a clear message. Make sure what you're teaching your students is simple, relevant, and repeatable. You want your students to understand what you're talking about. The average person takes about 8 times hearing something before they really learn what it's all about. Number 4, have a strong plan. Make sure you plan out your rehearsal so you know what events have to happen during that rehearsal. Or a week long, what do you need to accomplish by the end of that week? Or even longer than that. We have goals that last over 3 or 4 weeks of the season. Number 5, buzzwords. I like to use buzzwords with my students. These are very simple, short phrases or words that students immediately understand what sort of change you'd like them to make. For example, Jimmy, timing, Susie, posture. It's very quick and to the point, and students get the idea very quickly. Number 6, be consistent. I always like to tell my sons that I might not be reasonable, but at least I'm consistent. They always understand what to expect from me. I don't treat one student different from another student, no matter what they're giving back to me. Number 7, use show and tell. I love to use students who are a great example to show other students exactly what I want them to look like. I always pull out students who are doing a great job, and the other students really strive to be that kid that gets pulled out during the next rehearsal. Number 8, use a variety of drills and exercises, but don't go overboard. Any drill or exercise that you use in marching and movement fundamentals needs to directly relate to skills your students use in the marching band show. Number 9, establish a pre-show routine. A lot of us have a music routine that we go through before marching band shows or competitions, where you always do F concert and then you do articulation and tuning. There's kind of a sequence to things. I like to have a visual sequence as well. I want students walking into a competition or a field show understanding that it's always going to be the same thing. They're always going to know what to expect. I want them to be confident walking through the gate, not confused. Number 10, teach the whole student. We spend a lot of time in this video talking about marching and movement fundamentals, but we think it's absolutely critical that our students be healthy physically, emotionally, and spiritually. And as teachers, we need to teach the whole student. Dynamic marching and movement is all about the basics of posture and moving forward and backward, and learning body movement and choreography. If you're interested in more advanced drills and exercises, check out our other videos. In addition, we have some great videos from Richard Saucedo, Michael McIntosh, and David Starnes on teaching the fundamentals of music. I'm excited to have Chris Kaflick join us in this video. Chris is a former student of mine and an amazing young band director, and I know you'll learn a lot from Chris. If you implement this system, your students will execute at a higher level, and you will gain confidence as a teacher. I wish you the best of luck.